the question I wanted to throw to you, LB, is, I mean, do you feel that City did enough? Did you feel that you went aggressive enough and you attacked enough to try and win it? Or do you also feel that you fell into a little bit of a, we'll just take the point now as well?
No, we definitely didn't want to take a point. I think you can see that from the fans' reactions, from the player reactions in the interviews. I mean, the league for me now is it's going to be very, very difficult to win. I think the only way we win the league now is if we win it 9 out of 9. I think if we win 9 out of 9, we'll win the league. But that's the only way I see us winning the league, based off of maths. If you do the maths, because of the inferior goal difference, which we're not gonna get a better goal difference than Liverpool and Arsenal, mate. Liverpool play Sheffield United at home, yeah, and Arsenal 11 ahead of us, so it's not doable. So for me,
they've got Luton at home next.
Yeah, they've got. I mean, we have Luton at home, to be fair, but they're 9 or 11 ahead of us, something like that. So for me, no, it was not a good point. We tried. Listen, Arsenal are a good defensive side. Potsy and all the Arsenal fans love to tell us how good they are at defending. They're good at defending. They have Declan Rice in front. They have a couple of other players like Jorginho, who marshal in front of that defense really well. We just weren't creative enough. We didn't create anything. So no, we definitely didn't want a point. And I think, like I say, the fan reaction, Bernardo Silva coming out saying we are now no longer the favourites, Pep saying the same thing. It's not mind games. It's because if you actually do the maths, people can sit there and say you're being fake humble. Do the maths. Do the maths. How does City come to the top? Because you're basically saying to me, all right, well, if City drop any more points. By the way, our next game is against Aston Villa, yeah? We've not beaten one team in the top 5 this season. Not one. Now, people will sit there and say, oh, don't worry about Villa. You'll beat them. Their away record's great. People said that about Chelsea when we went to the Bridge. People said that about Chelsea when we played them at home. People said that about when we played Spurs at home. And by the way, we still got to go to Spurs. We've still never scored a goal there. So the only way I see City winning this title now is if we win 9 games out of 9. Now, can we do it? Yeah, we can do it. We've done it before. Certainly doable. But if City drop any more points, it is 100% over. 100%. We should focus our attention on the Champions League and the FA Cup. Simple as that. I think for me now, Liverpool and Arsenal, they are in the driving seat, especially Liverpool, because obviously they're at the top. And they've got insurance. They've got a small insurance policy in terms of they can drop maybe a game there. But we are now relying on other teams to stop Liverpool and stop Arsenal.
How many games do you think Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City will drop then in 9?
So I'm saying Liverpool will potentially. I'm going for 2 draws. 2 draws, right? Which means City need to win 9 out of 9. Arsenal, I reckon a draw, maybe 1 loss, which again, City need to win 9 out of 9. But yeah, so people say, no, Liverpool will lose or drop points in more than that. Wait, there's 9 games left. I'm saying out of 9 games, yeah, they're gonna drop points in 2. So you're telling me they're gonna drop points in 3, 4? That's nearly, you're getting on for nearly 50% there. You're not gonna drop points in. Have you seen their title run? They're running ridiculously easy.
They've dropped points in 9 games so far this season, which works out about 30% of their games so far. So if that was to continue, 9 games remaining, so 2 to 3 maximum based on their season run. Does that make sense? There's if you look at their season run, it's going to be about 2, like you've said, and maybe 3. It depends whether they're draws or defeats if they hit that 3rd number, if that makes sense. But I think you're right to a degree. Liverpool are the favourites now, and we didn't get around to talking about this yesterday. And it's a really good segue into. I think if City lose 1 more game, especially in a weekend or a game week,
do you not even think a draw, Terry? Because I even think if we draw a game, we're done. Do the maths.
Maybe. Yeah, if you draw this midweek and go to 65 points on Arsenal and Liverpool win, then there's going to be 3 points between you and. Sorry, I'm a liar. There'll be 3 points between you and Arsenal, plus their better goal difference. And then there would be 5 points between you and Liverpool, plus their better goal difference. Again, it's not even about the maths. It's about the probability of you then having a 4-point jump and a 6-point jump over 2 teams who have only dropped points so far in 30% of the games they've played in, moving into 8 games to play, which means there's only room for 2 games for there to be dropped points in. You would need both teams to lose 3 matches each on probability almost. Yeah. You don't beat Villa is it midweek you play them? Tomorrow
night, yeah. And then, by the way, we also got a Palace half 12. I've seen our record against Palace. That's not particularly good either. Well, we can say, come on, I'm just telling you the facts. Our record against
Bro,
Palace is
you'll beat
good.
them.
No,
You'll
listen,
beat.
I'm not
You'll beat both
disagreeing.
of them, LB.
I
I
think
think
you're
you'll
right.
win. I think you'll win all 9. There you go. I said it.
Nah, what? Based on what?
I think you will. I think you'll win all
But-
9. Based on
but-
the
but-
last few seasons that I've looked at Man City, we're under
Well,
Pep.
I think if we win all 9, I think we win the league. But
So
that's
do
the
I.
only way I think we win the
That's why I
league.
think Man City will still win the league, because I think you'll win all 9, and I don't think Liverpool and Arsenal will. That's why I still think Man City will win it, because they've shown me no evidence in the last few years that they don't do well on the back ends of season. Now, the only thing that could change, and I look at this and I ask you this, LB, seriously, I think you're better with Gundogan and Mahrez than Nunez or Kovacic and that Doku, who, by the way, is poor. I told you about him. He is just another. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he just trickery. Just looks brilliant on the eye, but doesn't actually do much. That's what I think from him. So that's the only thing that could let you down. I think is potentially Gundogan, who I think you miss massively, and then Mahrez, who is just a baller. That's the only reason that I can see. Otherwise, I'm just thinking Man City can go on and win, because Man City have got unbelievable talent, man. Like unbelievable talent. So that's why I think
they have. But this season, they've not won more than 6 games on the bounce. The 2 times they did that, first time it was ended with back-to-back defeats. The second time they did it, they drew against Chelsea, won their next 3, and then they've drawn 2 on the bounce again. So, I mean, they have done it in seasons gone by, but we're in a different season. We are in a different campaign. I agree with LB. I don't see them winning 9 on the bounce, City. I don't think they'll do it. I mean, people said 5-6 games ago they're going to win 15 on the bounce. They've drawn 3 of those. They've drawn 3 of those 15 they were going to win on the bounce already. So they need Liverpool and Arsenal to have a collapse. Both.
Here's the thing. The good thing is we're not losing matches. So we're doing something right. We're doing something. Yes. People will talk about the fact that Arsenal's defense this, Liverpool's defense that, but our defense is still very good. We've not lost a game since the beginning of December, which ironically was against Villa, who we play tomorrow night. Where we're struggling is in the forward line. We're not scoring enough goals. Yeah, we're not creating enough chances. We're not scoring enough goals. If we can sort that out, here's the thing: we're almost in in a decent position in the sense that like we've just got to go for it now. We've just got to go for it. Like at the end of the day, draws are no good for us. If we draw tomorrow night, I'm saying league's over. If we draw against Palace, I'm saying league over, because mathematically, I don't see how we do it. So in one hand, we're in sort of like our minds are clear. We have to go into every game now knowing we have to win every single match. Whereas Liverpool might be like, if they're a little bit shaky towards say it's 1-1 towards the end of a game, they might go, oh, should we push? Should we not? You know, that they're in a less clear mindset. We're not. We have to win every single game. Maybe that's copium. I accept, but that's the situation we're in.
Before we move on to talk about Liverpool and Arsenal in the title race, you mentioned about scoring goals. I wanted to segue slightly into this conversation because out of the blue, Roy Keane referred to Erling Haaland as a League 2 footballer. Ali McCoist has backed him. We had Staffy on the show the other day. Everyone now jumping on this. His approach plays, hold-up play, his link-up play, his touch, his passing, his vision, his creativity. He's all bang average to League 2 level. Everyone knows his goal scoring is elite. I've even seen people say to me today, this weird comment, he's a great goal scorer, but as a footballer, he's average. I don't quite understand that in professional football, and his goals don't mean too much. Where has this come from? Is he a bang average footballer in your opinion? I'd love to get your take on this, LB. I don't agree with it. I've defended him on 2 videos already. Where has this come from that suddenly Haaland is a bang average football player?
It's his goals don't mean much. It's absolutely bizarre. I don't know who told you that, but we did win the treble last year. We've also won 2 trophies already this season. Listen, he's not the best player on the ball. We all know that. Is he League 2 standard? That's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's just Roy Keane just saying stuff for clicks or whatever. Yeah, it's irrelevant. But yeah, he's not up to the standard of a set, maybe Harry Kane type striker, if we want to do that. But we didn't sign him to be Harry Kane. We signed him to put the ball in the back of the net, which he's doing very, very well. You know, he's already on 18 goals this season. He missed 2 months. Is he still top goal scorer in the league as well?
I assume so. I haven't looked, but I reckon he is.
I mean, he missed 2 months of football. He's still top goal scorer in the league. He's got 5 assists in the league this year, 8 assists last year, 8 assists the year before. I mean, Kane got 9 this year, 3 the year before that, 9 the year before that. So assists-wise, you know, there's not much difference between him and Kane. Goals, yeah, I mean, he's absolutely slamming it in. I just think, like, what are people doing here? Like, seriously, like, this guy's a goal scorer. He's old-fashioned goal scorer. He's never going to be Lionel Messi on the ball. He's never going to be David Silva on the ball, but we don't need him to. What we need him to do is get in the penalty area and put the ball in the back of the net, which he's not doing as much since he come back from his injury, but across the season, he's done very well. It's just ridiculous. It's just such a strange conversation, man. Like, I just don't get it at all. Like, is this what we're like? Why? Like, literally, there was so much to talk about in that game. Lack of creativity. Why didn't Foden create? Why didn't Kevin De Bruyne create? Why did he put Doku on? Why has he done it? Like, so many tactical decisions that you could have analysed and talked about. Yet Roy Keane wants to talk about Haaland being League 2 level, bro. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna hazard a guess, but Haaland probably scored more goals in these 2 years than Roy Keane scored in his whole career. This is what he's about. He's a goal scorer, not a link-up play. And if you wanted a link-up striker, you should have signed Harry Kane, not Erling Haaland. Ridiculous.
Listen, I personally, my favourite pundit, hands down, is Roy Keane. Right? Love him. 0 F's given. Says it how it is. Not afraid who he offends. Love that. It's everything I want in a pundit, right? Not trying to protect a media job or protect how he's might not ever go and be welcome at Man United. Says it how it is. But he's had a stinker here, man. He's had a stinker here for me. I thought it was ridiculous what he was saying. I think he's gone over the top, try to have a dig at Manchester City by saying actually what this guy does as a footballer is not amazing, but he's an elite finisher. Instead of saying that, he's got in and said he's a League 2 level footballer. In terms of everything else that he does, who cares, man? If I'm a Man City fan and someone said to me, Haaland is League 2 level, isn't he? I'd go, yeah, if you want him to be, but he's scoring me goals and just won me a treble. Who the hell cares if this guy just scores goals? And it doesn't, by the way, it doesn't just score goals like, you know, like the Rooney and Aguero and Shearer and Henry levels. If this guy carries on, he will probably overtake them in the next decade from scoring these many goals in a Premier League. So I honestly was surprised by what he was saying. I didn't really know where it come from. Maybe it was because he got wrapped up by Gabriel and Saliba, and he was the talk of, oh, where's Haaland? He got pocketed and stuff like that. But I thought going in on him like that was a bit bizarre, man. I've got to say, because this guy.
Here's the thing. Can I just say something, Potsy? Can I say something, right? Okay, so what people need to understand, and I understand this because I watch every single City game, yeah? If you don't create chances for Haaland, he's not going to do very much. And at times, it is almost like playing with 10 men if you don't create him chances. So the problem isn't to do with Haaland. If you have Haaland in the team, he's a world-class finisher. We all agree that. You don't score 56 goals, yeah, in your first season in the Premier League if you're not a world-class striker. You don't beat goal-scoring records that were there when there was more than 40 games a season. Now we only play 38 if you're not a world-class striker. Yeah, you don't have the best goals per minute ratio in Champions League history. Erling Haaland has that if you're not a good goal scorer. The problem is, and this is what I said before, City are not creating chances. We're not creating enough chances for him. We need to go back to creativity. We need to find a way of getting that ball in the box for Erling Haaland to attack. Because if you don't do that, you are effectively almost playing with 10 men because he doesn't bring much other to the table than that. But I don't have a problem with him not bringing anything else to the table if we created him chances and he's putting in the ball in the back of the net. If you look at some of his worst games this season, Wolves away, Arsenal at home, yeah? Didn't actually do anything bad. In all 3 of those games, we didn't create him a single chance. Not one. Not a single chance. You've got to create him chances. The problem for me is not necessarily with Haaland. It's with the players around him, not giving him the opportunities, and with the manager not putting the players out there to be able to create the chances for him. But to say that is just ridiculous, man.
Do you know what's funny? This sort of bile, this kind of hatred that's come out in the last few days towards Haaland's mad to me. Now, I understand that he isn't the most, he's not Eric Cantona, he's not Wayne Rooney, he's not Dimitar Berbatov or any of these players, Lewandowski, Suarez. He doesn't have that control, touch, the dribbling, the passing range. He doesn't aesthetically please in that way. Nobody's ever claimed that he does, which is strange. No one, I can understand pushing back against it if the argument is that he is those things. No one's ever made those arguments. When they say his hold-up play is bad, I just went back while you two were talking and looked at the highlights when City smashed Arsenal 4-1 last year. His hold-up play for the opening goal was lauded. And I'm pretty sure if you went back and find the punditry from that, the Roy Keanes of this world are going to praise it. I haven't seen his hold-up play, his approach play, his general play referred to as bang average or League Two level by professional pundits up until this game. I know there are some sort of the tacticos and your sort of hipster football fans online that have never really taken to him because he doesn't do all the technical things that they like. But that's just a preference thing for those individuals, you know? I don't particularly like opera music, even though I know it's very good. And I understand that they don't like what Haaland is, and they're going to jump on the bandwagon. But for Roy Keane to say that, for me, it's so disingenuous to what Erling Haaland is as a football player. His hold-up play is good. His approach play is good. Yes, a lot of his goals are tap-ins, as people call it. But let's not pretend that they're easy, because if they were, anybody could do it, and nobody else is. Also, there's elements of his game he's got to work on. I think he gets bullied a bit too easy by big, strong centre-backs. I think he can be got at. I think he can be rattled. That's fair criticism. And I think for a big boy, I think he's got to show a little bit more aggression. I think he's got to phrase weight around a little bit more. And you know what? It might end up with a red card or two. You know, stick a few elbows in, stick a few knees in, get a bit more aggressive. I think that's fair feedback. I think that's fair. But to say he's a League Two footballer when the hardest skill in football is scoring goals, every football person worth their salt has said that in the past and will say it in the future. It's the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing for a club to find is someone that scores goals. As great as those technical midfielders are, as brilliant as those skillful dribbling wingers are, as hard as it is to find good quality centre-backs that play out from the back, there's far more of them in football, and always has been, than elite level goal scorers. They are a finite commodity. There's a scarcity about them. It's why they're the most expensive to buy. And I've called this out against Arsenal a lot. I will keep the same energy when it comes to Man City and any team. I don't like this type of punditry. I get it from fans. I'm pushing it aside when it comes to fans. I don't like it because I think it's disingenuous to football. I actually think it's detrimental to the game that we love, making throwaway comments of that level. You can say at elite level, he's average at hold-up play. That's fair. But to say no one in League Two is as good at him as holding up the ball, no one. How do we know that? Because a lot of our big teams and even smaller teams play those sides in FA Cups. Which one of their strikers are holding the ball up better than Haaland does? Linking up better than Haaland does? It's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. And then people are jumping on it because there'll be a striker somewhere that's rivaling this guy and they'll jump on it like a bitch in heat. And I just don't like that kind of analysis in any way, shape or form. And Haaland is one of the records that he's broke, the number of goals that he scores. And people say there's no variety. Just go watch like he's 50 goals last year. Yeah, a lot of them are tap-ins. But there's some absolute beautiful goals in there as well. And some of them are really good team goals that he's involved in. I just don't like the lies and disingenuous nature of it personally. So I'm standing by Erling Haaland on this one. He's no League Two, Championship, Eredivisie, Bundesliga. He is Premier League, La Liga, Champions League level. He is creme de la fucking creme as a striker. And that buzzword I mentioned, this is what someone said to me. He's probably the best finisher on the planet. But on a footballing perspective, it's a different story. There is no footballing perspective. There is no football. You don't judge footballers like you're judging ballet dancers at a competition or gymnastics where you're judging the form, the artistry of it. You're judging footballers on how they deliver in their position. His job and role is to be a goal scorer. You don't judge Declan Rice because he doesn't do what Zidane does. So why are you judging Haaland because he isn't doing what Harry Kane does? It's a different type of striker. I don't like this bullshit analysis. It's basic bitch for me. And it makes me angry. I don't even know why. He's not even a Man United player. Just gets up my nose.
No, it's the only striker, not striker, it's the only player in Champions League history, right, out of the top 50 goal scorers to have a goal to games ratio of more than a goal per game. Out of every single player in that top 50. You're talking about the best players here. Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, Benzema, Van Nistelrooy, Muller, Henry, Mbappe, Salah, Drogba, Neymar, Aguero.
Just putting him with them names, man. Just putting him with them names is enough.
He's got the best record and the only player to have a goal more than every game. The only player on the top 50. And by the way, before someone says, "Oh yeah, but he was at City," his record in the Champions League is the worst at City. He played for Salzburg, had a goal per game over a goal per game. Dortmund the same. City is a goal per game. Like,
Mm.
come on, man. This is
It's
just
crazy.
like
It's
factual
just the
information.